Okay, in terms of key selection criteria, I guess, first we have to understand obviously what your airflow is or what your airflow requirements are to get good extraction off the machines. That's the critical part for the business owner. What your dust type is and what volume of dust you're going to generate. If it's only a very small volume of dust, the selection is or can be different. But we want to understand the dust volumes and then the extraction rates and the dust type. The other thing you need to consider are the services that are required to bring to the baghouse. For a pulse jet filter, you need obviously electricity, but also compressed air. For a reverse air filter, electricity only, no compressed air required. And for a static baghouse, electricity only, no compressed air required. And that doesn't sound like much, but actually the cost of compressed air over a year is quite significant. And if you undersize the air reservoirs and the pulsing equipment on a pulse jet filter, then you can waste a hell of a lot of compressed air. And so we've done a lot of work around that aspect, making sure that our pulse jet filters run efficiently, not just for the dust filtration, but also for the use of compressed air. When you go to reverse air filters, reverse air fans coming on periodically throughout the running cycle of the filter, and they only use a very short burst of reverse air and subsequently have very low power draw. Okay, so when you're choosing a dust collector and trying to crystal ball to your future, of course, it's very difficult, right? And especially at the moment, everything's changing very quickly. So with the modular collectors that Airtight sell, the beauty of it is, in some ways, is that you can buy, in particular the RAF series, you can buy a 2 or 3 or 4 module filter, which is what you require for your immediate needs. If you then choose to expand in the future, they are very easily expanded, and we do it quite regularly when customers buy more machinery. Typically, that would involve an expansion to the baghouse, and in the case of the RAF filters, a second or possibly third fan blowing into the same filter. What that means is that you don't have to crystal ball quite as much. You have to allow some space, but that's it. And it also means that your capital expenditure is more tuned to the project you're doing right now, rather than trying to guess what's going to be in the future. We've done multiple jobs with multiple fans blowing into a single RAF filter, and we've also done multiple jobs where we've expanded the filter and put more fans in as required. So it allows you to customize the extraction needs you want now, and then customize what you need in the future and keep sort of boxing it off, if you like, and expanding on your filters. That's very easy to do in the RAF series. It's harder, it's not impossible, but it's harder to do when you go to a larger pulse jet filter, because typically they are heavier gauge, not so expandable. It can be done, but it's more difficult, and it's harder to do, or not so common to do, should I say, on the smaller, low-cost static baghouses, because usually in that situation you just duplicate rather than expand it, and you end up with multiple systems rather than one central system. I think what makes Airtight extraction systems different to anybody else is primarily the engineering, actually. We started Airtight Christmas 1999. The very first unit we built up ourselves with no instructions, and then obviously had to do it again because the first time wasn't right. But we put that unit into service in an environment that hadn't been used before and ran it for a year to test to see how it survived. It survived perfectly, and really that was the basis of us using these filters from then on. That same unit, by the way, is still in service. Because we bring an engineering approach to our installs and our design, we get a lot of really good feedback on how to maximize the units. And we know from looking at our competitors that we have an engineering advantage. We push that through the company by having multiple engineers in our team. Obviously, we have sales and marketing people as well, and designers and installers and fabricators, but our engineering expertise allows us to successfully choose the right piece of kit for the right customer. It's not just out of the book, flick it on type sales. You sit there and you think pretty seriously about what the customer's trying to achieve, and you work out the best solution for them. So please call us on 1800 424 784. Log on to www.airtight.com.au.